your old pal, John Hartt. Let's paint something wonderful today.
The Jortt Show!
Hey guys, welcome back. Last episode, my evil producer made me paint this rubber ducky head, and I did the underpainting, and I'm kind of been looking at it. Well, in the meantime, after I painted, I trimmed it out with the jigsaw, and I'm kind of finding some new shapes in here, and I'm not quite sure what I want to do, but this is the jumping off point. He's good. Fish is good, donut's good. I'm gonna put another donut here. And to me, this looked like a strawberry, so I might try and make two strawberries, but I have a feeling that's not gonna work either, because I'm also seeing like a mouth here too, so this could be something. The bone, I'm really not happy with. I kind of drew some things on it, and I don't know what I'm seeing, but let me kind of sketch this out a little bit, and maybe I'll see something. I'm kind of seeing something going on here and maybe I'm just trying to find another shape, because the bone has no personality. Maybe I can give the bone, you know what? I'm gonna put eyeballs on the bone. That's my jumping off point. So you're a bone, and you already have personality. I just drew two eyeball sockets on there, and we'll figure out what you're doing. Yeah, so maybe we'll stick with the bone. But let me get these out of the way, and I'm ready to go. So at this point, I have most of the shapes down, even though with those few exceptions. I just want to get some paint on the canvas. Even though the canvas isn't made of canvas. The canvas is plywood. MDO plywood. I took out green, so I'm gonna make something green. Maybe I'll start with the fishy first. The fish, I kind of want to have green and maybe tealish, something blue-green. I'll start with these three colors and see where that guy goes. And let me just get the dark green too. So I got my green family there, and white. I'm just gonna get some paint on the palette, and I'm gonna start putting this on there. This is slow drying matte medium. Dark green. Blue-green. This is phthalo turquoise. And this is yellow-green. I need to unclog your nozzle. There we go. Boop. I've since figured out how to quickly unclog the nozzle, and I'm very happy with myself for knowing that. In the past, I was always looking for a nail or a screw laying around, but I got this handy dandy thing here. All right, so I said I'm going to work on fishy first with these colors. Just get a little dark on the outline, which I did before. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get a bigger brush. A bigger brush indeed. This is really big. But I just want to get some of this. This is called, what I call it, slow drying retarder. Slow drying matte medium, that's what it is. And I just kind of want to get the outlines in the dark places first with this dark green. And I'm going to stick with that big brush. Filler brush. I'm just going to try and get, yeah, that's kind of a nice teal color. It's called blue-green, but I'm calling it teal. So see how this is mixing in real nice with this this yellow-green, but I don't know if I want that to be the place. Yeah, that's already starting to look really good. And let's see, what did I do? I didn't get this blue on here yet. I kind of want more blue up here with the dark green, but thinly, right? So that's the edge. Don't want to lose the eyeball either. But I want it darker on the bottom because our light source is coming from the top. And right now that's a little bit too dark, but I'm okay with that. And this is nice. I can already feel the matte medium drying. It's getting kind of at this nice stage where it's a little tacky and it isn't so fluid. I feel like I can get a good painterly feel going on. Yeah, I want you to be whitish. I know I'm going right over there again. Then bluish. Or I think that was actually turquoise, but that's okay. I didn't use the correct term. And then I want the top to be kind of, this is the blue-green, and then I want this super bright green-yellow up there. So hopefully that's making sense to someone. I just kind of want to blend these in a little bit. And a lot of the pink is still showing through, but this is kind of, I'm going to get a lot more white on there. But it's blending in, the colors are blending in next to each other really good. Let's see if I can, yeah, that's kind of cool. Let's see if I can get a little bit of white in there. So I'm kind of, on the palette, I'm mixing a little bit of white with the matte medium to keep it nice and wet and keeping it so I can play with it a little bit. And at the same time, sometimes I can get a little bit too wet and get drips, but I don't care. We deal with the drips as they approach. It's kind of a nice look. I'm just gonna go straight paint right now. And the white's mixing in pretty good with the turquoise. I'm pretty happy with that. And before it gets too dry. And that's like a nice soft feel. And I don't always want a soft feel, especially lately, but I'm gonna get a little bit of a soft feel and a little bit of that painterly look, and I think we'll be kind of close to on target. And right now I'm just kind of painting over the crown a little bit because I know that's going to be in front of everything, so there's going to be a nice strong line between the crown and that. But let me finish the background first. And that's kind of my basic approach, is work from back to front. That makes sense. Makes sense. And I want you a little bit darker. And this is kind of, I think cathartic is a word. I've used that before, but I'm still unsure of the meaning, but I'm sure that's the right word. Just putting paint down and letting it mix with the color next to it, and you're just finding new things all the time. Okay, now I just want it a little more painterly, just to show where things are or aren't. I'm going to try some of this blue. And that seems to be going on top of the other layer pretty good. The layer underneath is a little drier than it was before. And then I'm going to try some more of this. I don't need more of that dark. I'm going to try more blue. Yeah. It's blue, but it's still dark down there. Or it will be when I'm done with my adding dark green thing. Okay, I feel this way. Okay, now let's see if I can just lose some of those, just the heavy brush marks. And I want like this blue or it's next to the white, just to be a little more blended in, but you can still see the splotches of white to give it a little character, and the same thing up here. And I think I want a little more, just a little more of this lemon yellow, did I call it? No, yellow green. Hello, my name is Yellow Green. Very pleased to meet you. And I'm gonna make just a few really kind of bright splotches up here. Yeah, I'm kind of holding the paintbrush a little different here. I'm just kind of flopping it on. I'm not really brushing it on. And now I got flopping it on. Now I'm gonna smooch it this way. These are all official paint terms, artist terms. Smooch. Not like kissy kiss smooch, but smooch it in. But maybe it is like kissy kiss, depending on how you do your kissy kisses. Oh, maybe this is like a kissing fish. I think I can make that happen. Here. So that almost looks like its lips here. Does it work? No, it doesn't look smoochy enough. Maybe if maybe. Okay, you're just a smiley fish. And I think this was the dead fish, so he looks like a dolphin now. I don't want a dolphin to be dead, because I am friends to all dolphins. I'm friend to all dolphins, not friends. Okay, so let's try that again. This is I'm trying to see. Let's make him happy, even though he's dead. Now he looks like a shark. I don't want a shark. Sharks scare me. Actually, they don't. Nope, that was a bad choice. This is a sponge, but it was really wet, and it seemed to have sponged off some of the paint. So I'll just add more paint. It's a process sometimes, just trying to remember, did I leave a different color paint on the brush? Yeah, now he looks more happy, even though he is. This is how you make a dead fish. That's how you make a dead anything. Make an X where the eye should be. Because that's like the first or the second thing that happens to you after you die. Your eyeballs, they just turn into X's, like tic-tac-toe. They go from O's to X's. It's not quite believable yet, but I think if I can just put a little white, oops, that's not white, that's dark. A little white on the bottom of the X's to indicate a reflection, it will look a little more believable. And I think, yeah, that's good enough. And good enough is, you know what good enough is? Good enough is good enough. I don't know if I ever really want to make a really perfect, great painting. I guess I do. But really good enough. I'm sticking with that for now. Okay, you're done. I'm afraid to go to you, so I'll go to... I said I was gonna make these green, and I have most of the greens on my palette, so let's just discover some shapes real quick. So maybe I'll just make this more of the dark green and the yellow green instead of getting so much blue in it. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the dark green, figure out where my edges are, because I feel like, I don't know if I want these to be strawberries, but I probably don't. But let's try the shape like this. So right now it appears like there's one thing in front of another thing. And this guy's coming all the way over here. Right? He looks like an angry, like, sweet potato, so let's stick with that. Green sweet potato. Hell yeah. All right, I'm getting some of the matte medium on here now. And same thing here. Let's see, the light source is there. So it's gonna be kind of, we'll probably have like a shadow of the duck right on him here. So, and when in doubt, just put on way too much paint. It'll just help you see things. So I see the shadow of this, so I feel like it's closer here, but it's coming down here. So that's the shadow on this thing. And then this is just darker here. I think what I want to do, let me get a big brush, see where it'll take me. Let me get this real quick. I want to keep this this angry face here. Let's see if we got two of them. Yeah, that's kind of a pair of bitter characters. It's okay. It's okay to have bitter characters in your life. We all do. But you can't let their bitterness overtake your, whatever your thing is, your wonderfulness, or just your peace of mind sometimes. Alright. Yeah, that's a very different green than what's going on up there, so. And I have big splooches. I'm just gonna paint over his eyes and mouth. I think I can remember how to paint it's the angry face. I can do it. I know I can. Yeah. Alright. That's it for that brush. Let me try maybe this brush will do better. I just want to, all right, bye-bye, eyes and mouth. I'll fix you later. I'm just trying to get, a good sense of really vibrant colors. So I'm covering up the red or the pink, which is, boys and girls, pink or red is the complementary of what? Green. And sometimes when you mix, or most of the times when you mix complementary colors, they get brownish or muddish in general, I think. That's what I've discovered. That's what I've discovered in my travels as an artist. There's too much schmutz on there. There we go. That's starting to get a little lively. So maybe this is just the fact that it's green. It's reminding me of something organic-ish or vegetable-ish because of the color, right? Like a lima bean, maybe? Ooh, evil lima beans. My wife loves lima beans. What the hell is her problem? That's like the only vegetable that humans shouldn't eat. Lima beans. God. What kind of crazy person eats lima beans? Whatever, I'll stop criticizing my wife. Okay. So now I have lima beans on the mind. I got myself in a bad place, people. Lima beans. There's nothing worse than thinking about lima beans. Since I made clear the fact that lima beans are evil, so that maybe that is appropriate for the frowny faces. I know, I see a lime too, but we'll see. I kind of want to leave that up to. Now this guy had a frowny face. Or I see, maybe we can make these aliens. Oh, but I committed to Evil Lima Beans. You see. Maybe let me revisit this. He's still evil. Maybe he's just a disgruntled employee. So I just gave you my whole manifesto about how evil lima beans are, and I'm turning them into, maybe they're still lima beans. In my heart, they will always be lima beans. Okay. All right. Got the expression. I'm moving on because I want to move on. I got this. I'm scared of that, so let's do some donuts. Donuts are this color. They put yellow ochre in donut mix to give it that yellow ochre color. And pink frosting. I'm excited to do the pink frosting. I don't think I've done a pink frosting donut with these cool pinks I have yet, so I think that's going to be exciting. Look at my life. Alright, so for the donut part, I just want maybe yellow ochre. Let's use the three colors I use. The dark is a sienna thing. Oh, it's transparent red, iron oxide, but it's like a dark brown, a light yellow, and I don't even think I need this, and just a white. I think I left the white over here. The white. And a little bit of matte medium. And I'll put the pink on separately, but let me just make sure I know that both of these guys are donuts. That one is very donutty already. And I hadn't quite donutted this, so I think right there. Okay, that's donutty. Just let's see. Yeah, this yellow ochre is like a donut color. And down to this dark one, and these are going to be dark donuts. I think what I'll do is push this donut in the back and put this donut in front of that donut. Just like that. And I gotta rethink this part, but that's okay. Use the big donut. Actually, I don't want to do it that way. I think this might be kind of a longer episode. Yeah, this looks better here with this donut in front. It looks pretty good. Alright, I'm not gonna overdo that. This one out. I need to figure out where the frosting is on here, so I'm just using white for now. So he's going down there. If I can do this, and like I think you need to come up here. Okay, and you. Okay, and then on this side, I think it's like dripping down. Actually, it's not really dripping, it's dripping down a little bit. I don't know if that's the right way to do drip. But Okay, so that seems right. Let me just get it all. I think that's good. And now I want to play with the pink. I want to play with the pink. And I have a pre-made pink. This actually looks donut frosting color, but I love that fluorescent magenta. So I'll probably try the pink a little bit, but then again, maybe not. Yeah, I'd rather have a fluorescent pink donut any day. Dunkin' Donuts! I've got a business idea. Fluorescent donuts. Oh, that's starting to look pretty good already. Look at me. I am an artist. Let's see. So I think all this is frosting. It's starting to maybe make sense to me. But bear with me. Yeah, it looks like it's dripping down there. Maybe this hole should be just a little bit wide. I won't do that yet. So I'm just gonna imagine the hole goes to there. So that's the end. Yeah, and that looks good. And I think I can use just a little bit of dark magenta and white to really give this some depth. And I think we're done with the donut. And it's like a chocolate donut too, which is kind of nice. It's not regular donut flavor. It's a beautiful pink on the chocolate donut. So I got some of that fluorescent magenta. I'm gonna get some of this quinacridone. I think I've been mispronouncing this after I thought I learned how to correctly pronounce it. But it's a, let's see, let me see if I can, what brush? Let me try this brush. This might do. So what I want to do is just kind of figure out where the edges of this are and make it look like it's kind of just folding over, not folding, what's the right word for when it curves over maybe, yeah. Okay. And still really wet, but I'm getting that dark feel on the edge, so I'm getting what I want. And up here too, I feel like this is the part that needs to fold over. And let me be a little more generous. There we go. Yeah, I'm really starting to see this now. I just get a little more. When things aren't working, you should just throw way more paint on things than you think ought to be on there, and it seems to work out. I'm like being super generous with the white. And now we're gonna get a little generous with the fluorescent pink here, which is pretty dark and it has a nice feel to it. Okay, that's really nice. It has a nice feel. I think I will stop. Okay. Oh, then we have another donut down here. I forgot. Sorry. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did there on this one. And let me get just a little more fluorescent magenta on here, and I think that will tell the story I'm trying to tell. Dude, I love that. I think when this dries, I might make just a darker shadow under the donut there, but that's the story I'm telling. All right, I gotta figure out what's going on with you right now. Okay, I said you're a bone. I'm gonna make you maybe light blue, maybe light blue, maybe light blue. I'm gonna make you, maybe, I don't want to do orange. I'm gonna make you light orange. And have some of that on here, so. Actually, light blue with a little bit of green because it's on the brush. Yeah, the way I drew these kind of eyes quickly on this reminds me of that cartoon where one of the characters had a friend that was a plank, and his name was Plank. I can't remember what cartoon it was. Ed, and Eddie. That was a funny cartoon. I love cartoons. Plank. All right. Let me see if I can just kind of get a thin coat of this blue on here, just to help me realize what I'm doing. It's not a thin coat, but it's defining the color, so. Oh, I think what I'll do is use this turquoise, and I'll use this fluorescent blue too. Where are you? You are fluorescent. And lots of white. Okay, that's good enough for now, except I just see one little thing, and then I'll move away. I kind of did too much blending in there. And that looks good. I'm gonna put a little more here, only because that's all the white I have left on my palette. I'm doing this because I think the brush strokes were looking too uniform, or too obvious that they're the same kind of random shape, random or non-random shape. I have a giant piece of hair in there. I feel like I want to blame the cat, but it looks like one of my hairs. All right, let me pull back a little bit. Beep, 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 beep. That looks really good. I'm gonna start on Ducky. Let's knock this baby out. All right, guys, I gotta put some yellow on this guy now. I've been painting this Ducky. I like this Indian yellow. It's one of my favorite yellows. I used to be a giant cadmium yellow fan, and I still am. I'm gonna put a little bit there right now. I can't, because cadmium is a nice, bright, opaque yellow. The Indian yellow it looks orange on the canvas, but when you mix it with the white, it's just so yellowy and glowy. I'm looking for white, and I think it's over there, but let me see what my darks are. I'm going to use the transparent red oxide, which I've been doing a lot lately. And I'll need some orange. You know what? have fluorescent orange and fluorescent yellow, but I think if I use it, I'm gonna kind of use it just over top. So I'll just keep you there for the time being. So this is my palette for now. So I want to get, and the beak is gonna be, I have all these oranges, they're hard to tell apart. I just got a new one too, which is cadmium yellow deep. My other cadmium yellow was cadmium yellow light. But this is deep. It's deep, dude. And you know what, too? Maybe I will use, for the darkness, some of this alizarin crimson. I'll use just a combination of these two. I like that. They're both kind of red. Well, the alizarin crimson is very red. The other one is mostly brown, but a very red brown. Okay, let's get some paint on here, baby. So I'm getting some white on there too. My favorite thing to put on a palette is white. And I'm gonna get some medium over here, so you are gonna be pretty wet for a little bit, wetter than you normally would be without. How about that? Too much to be in the department. Yeah, I shouldn't have flopped so much water on there. It's a little better. All right, let's get right to it. Get that. Ooh, that looks nice. You see how the red underneath it? So, ooh, maybe he'll be more of a kind of a pinky golden duck. That is really nice. And you know what? I'm just gonna make the crown the same color. And I'll probably just add something at the end to differentiate what the colors are. Oh, that's super wet. Man. And that's what's nice about this. I can put on such a thin coat and get that whole yellow vibe right away. Oh, so I just, you know what? Look at that. Get kind of a smaller brush. I'll stick with this. I just don't want to change too much. And you see that? You see how it picks up the yellow, the orange, and makes it a really cool yellow. Let's see if I can just blend you in there. Ooh, look at how moody this looks already. God, let's get some of the dark. Let's see what that is. And right here, I'm taking half of each color. The brown and the red, I'm just gonna use it as one. And make the edges. And just mix it out. So I'm kind of mixing the brown, red with the yellow that I put on. And it looks really muddy now, but we'll kind of add some more whites in strategic places. There will be really, really wonderful artists and do all sorts of things. So, God, I like how that looks really brassy, maybe is the word. Yeah, this is like kind of too darkish, more darkish than I want it to be on this side. I think you see what I'm doing, I'm just kind of blending this in and then kind of cleaning the brush off here. Okay, that already has kind of good vibe that I'm looking for. And what to do next? I don't know what. I think I need a little more white. Bring you up some. Too much red on that brush. Getting the moisture off the brush. Let's see if I can mix you in a little bit here. So I'm working the white out so like it's kind of a reflection. And that's working really good with the that yellow that's there, and the yellow seems to be still wet, so I think I did this correctly, or in the correct order, was to put the matte medium on, right? And then a thin layer of the yellow, which is really transparent and which mixes so nicely with this. I feel like I need a little more white. I think I need a bigger area of white. So I feel like I'm just kind of working my way out to the dark areas, and it seems to be mixing pretty good, so hopefully I can get it here without it being too splotchy, which is starting to seem like, but I put just a little bit of this matte medium on there. And I think that's good. And it looks kind of nice and painterly. So I'm kind of good with that. So I will say stop now. With that, I want to indicate a dark shadow under his beak. Oh, he's such a nice guy. So that's the shadow. And that's funny, the beak already almost looks orange, but I'm gonna, let's see, I don't want to put too much on. I'm afraid this orange might be overkill, but no, it's not, so I'll put a lot more on. Boop, 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 boop. I like that Daffy Duck orange. Alright, so I'm gonna just put kind of a reflection there to let you know where the top meets the bottom. It's a little much now, but we will change. And there's more reflection there. I'm going to move to a little smaller brush because I think that's too much, and I just want to kind of blend you a little bit. That looks good, right? When I say right, I'm talking to nobody in particular. I think I'm talking to myself. I'm seeking approval from myself. That's what I'm doing. Let me get a little more orange. Yeah, that's what I need to do. That was just too much white there. And get some dark underneath there. Again, I'm working on that shadow. Maybe it's a little too much, but whatever. I'm just gonna overthink it. Let me get the eyes. I was recommended to put different type of eyes in here. I don't know if I want to go in that direction because I like the vibe. It's kind of a moody, nostalgic vibe I'm getting from just from the way this is rendered. So I like that. And here's an example of, I think a lot of what you're seeing is the pink, the red base paint I did last time. So I'm super happy. You know what? When you're painting, things just work out. If you let it to just work out. Yeah, I think this is a good example of letting the painting lead you, because I don't think I would have put such a transparent coat on this without just kind of accidentally doing it. And I'm feeling really good about that. And let me get a little thin line of dark. So it's like a little bit of a shadow here. Just here, just to say, hey, it's dark under here. That crown is sitting on something, even though that looks A little overkill, but maybe not. Let's see, we might even have just a little bit of more of a shadow back here, and maybe, yeah, his head goes just a little further behind the crown. Okay, that's good enough. And I can just get a little bit of this transparent yellow on here, and just a little bit of white next to the shadow to help kind of push out the fact that this is a shadow. And let's get a little sloppy too. Yeah, I like when I get sloppy. I would rather be sloppy drunk than anything I know. I think that's a real song, like a real like blues song. I don't think I made that up. I don't think I make up anything. I think we all recycle things somehow. Like even what I'm doing here, I'm redoing something. So all this original work comes from something that's already been done. You just kind of say it a little bit differently. All right, let's get that kind of shiny, more brighter, reflective look up here. Or maybe just basically a bigger area of lightness. It's kind of weird now. Let me get. So what you're seeing now is me, it isn't, the paint underneath is dry, so this is just kind of putting a transparent or a translucent layer of white over, and that's too much, and I think I'll swoop you away or kind of make you more watery looking. That's good. Let me make you a little darker. And you a little darker. Okay, that's good. Let me just get a little darker around the edges, because like right here I kind of swooped over with the blue. And just a little bit here too. Just to cover up that little overlap of the green. And make the shadow just a little more shadowy. And that'll do. There's one little thing there. I don't like that little misfire there. That's better. And let me make the crown very yellow. So let's do it this way. Let's do the same thing we did before. We'll take the matte medium. I think I actually put some up there before, but it dried. But it dries clear. And do the same thing, and then put a little bit of the Indian yellow on there, which is very transparent. All right, we got that goldy feel. But I want this, I think I'm gonna add some of the cadmium yellow there to just differentiate it from this. Or maybe just a higher level of white. Now let's get the cad on there. This is the cadmium yellow. Yeah. And the cadmium is like a very opaque yellow, unlike the Indian yellow. And then I'm gonna use, maybe I'll stick more to the alizarin crimson for the dark parts of this instead of the brown. They're a little mixed together now, but that's okay. I don't mind, I just... Oh, and that works good too. Because that is a very transparent color too. So I'm picking up the stuff underneath it. Let's see how it mixes with the yellow. Let's see. I feel like a lot of times when I'm talking about painting, I'll just say these words that are in my head, and they don't really make sense. You see, he's looking good. His crown is different than him, so I don't want the yellows to match, even though they are very close. But let's see if we can just change it up a little bit and see where it goes. I moved to a littler brush, but I'm gonna put a giant globs of paint on. So maybe I'm directing the paint a little better, but being less retentive. That's kind of cool, man. That's kind of cool, man. Let's get some whitey McWhite on there. And then maybe a little bit more of the Indian yellow to mix between the opaque yellow and the white. Oops, I think I put some orange in there. Okay. There we go. I'm trying to get this like visually smooth transition from dark to light and still have it really kind of painterly, or where you can see the brush strokes. Not quite there, but I'm feeling the direction, so. Let's get kind of define where this is in the bottom again. That's kind of nice. This is my painting song. And I think I'm doing that because if I stay in rhythm, I might get done faster. I kind of want to get you. There you go. That's kind of a nice vibe. So earlier on, I think I was asked about, nope, that's not coming. I just lost it. I just lost it. Yeah. There you go. I am loving the crown. I am loving the crown. Except for down here. But you know, I'm looking at the eyes now. You said something about using black, and I kind of want to do that now. I'm going to back up. Yeah, I think if I put black or complement, that's the word I was looking for. In here, this is kind of red, so if I put maybe That's some green out here. It'll make it look, I think it'll make the eyes look darker, and I think if the eyes are darker, they'll pull you in a little bit more. Like it'll make you kind of think, oh, what's in there? And it's so deep. And this is the dark green. It's on a thick coat too. I don't know if I want to really get that thick, but it's over a red, so it's super dark, and it's looking really black. And I think that's the right choice. Okay. Oops, almost a little less than circular, but circles are circular. All right. I'm kind of liking that, except my little two. I want to wipe this up because it's less circular than it should be. That way, now I'm like smearing green shit all over my yellow, and then I'm gonna be like, oh, I have too much green on here. Painter's problems. All right, that's better. Or better-ish. And I just want to get a little highlight under the eyes here, just to let the viewer know that there's a little bit of 3D going on there, and the light's coming from here. Yeah, that's good enough. And just make my circle circular, which I failed last time. Here we go. That's better. Let me do one more thing, and then I'm going to call this done. And this one more thing is an easy do. I just want a little bit brighter highlight there. And I think I lost some of it when I was smoothing it out earlier. Let's see, I think I could use this. Yeah, that's good. And I didn't use any medium with the white, but it was, I used a lot of water, so it's a nice thin coat. And if I can just blend it so it looks believable. Oh, I smeared the green. But fear not, I have my eraser. Ugh. And that was like the last stroke I was gonna take. I was gonna say, let's call this one done. Oh, but it's not too bad. It's still nice and wet and erasable. Okay, let's call that done. Ta-da! I'm really happy with this guy. What did we do today? We put color on the canvas. That's what we did. We took a monochrome painting and brought it to life. So super happy with this. Super happy you checked in. If you're an artist, if you're a creator, create art, create something, do something wonderful today.